Hello Aquarius, welcome to your June tarot reading. I hope that May has been productive and peaceful for you. I'm going to go straight into your reading just to say that you may notice the parts where I shuffle and allow your cards to fall will be speeded up. You may already know this having watched my previous videos. If you haven't, check them out. You might find that May is quite interesting retrospectively. I'm going to go straight into your shuffle right now. Okay, Aquarius, you have a very interesting spread. I'm going to go straight into it here now with the Nine of Cups. I think this is what we're starting with in terms of your desires and wishes going forward. You're looking for some greater satisfaction in, I'm getting the sense about a project or to do with something that you're emotionally attached to. It may well be a relationship, but I have a feeling it's something to do with your creativity and something that within innate that you can share. I do believe it has connections to other people, and I get the sense that you may be waiting for something here. We have the Seven of Wands, which indicates that there are a few different options that are possible. There are some potential here that you perhaps can't quite see the root of, or that there are aspects and events happening that you need to allow to develop. Now you are kind of sitting pretty a little bit in the sense that you're protected and you're quite well balanced. You notice the solar plexus chakra is highlighted there, and you are on higher ground. So as much as you can't see everything right now and how things are going to pan out, you have all of these opportunities, and one will make itself clear. And I can say that because I can see the Two of Wands. So this might involve another person or maybe two other people, but it tells me that you have a great deal of potential. We have the World here indicated. There's movement here on its way, and you're traveling towards a certain end, a certain destination, and you may well have partnership here or some kind of help. It's all about the growth here, Aquarius, and it's very interesting for me to see after this that there is the Ten of Swords. So it indicates to me that you may have been through quite a struggle. I mean, clearly everybody has struggled in recent times because of what's been happening, but this is a very personal battle, I feel. It's one that has been very much mental as much as it has been physical. But the Ten of Swords tells me that it's at the end of a cycle now, and it feels quite assured to me because we have a couple of new beginnings indicated in the rest of the cards. One of them being the Page of Swords. Now, you notice how we go from the end of a cycle to almost the beginning of a cycle here with these messages, with these communications, with this information that's coming into you, or certainly some ideas and clarity. But the pages tend to carry messages or information. So something is going to come in to shift your way forward and give you the growth that you've been looking for. Now there is a caveat to that, and it's the Temperance card. And the Temperance card is all about creating inner balance, or balance sometimes between the inner and the outer. It can be to do with our spirituality and our practicality, or our work and home, or our emotions and what we manifest here. It talks about getting the inner alchemy right, because in order to recognize certain energies, we have to be balanced within. And I'll point out the solar plexus chakra, the center chakra here, which tells me that there's the solar plexus chakra is about feeling balanced and feeling content. It's gut feeling. And so this temperance, this balance, for me is an emotional one. It's a mental one, and we have the swords here to show that. Perhaps there's an aspect of you that needs to kind of come into balance, to rest, to regain faith, if you like, in all that's been going on with you, everything you've been through. It might well be very difficult for you to believe that there is good out there for you. but the cards clearly indicate what we're coming towards is abundant and nourishing and positive and creative. So watch out for this communication or this opportunity coming in, because it does give you this brand new start. We have the Ace of Swords here, another air sign card with the swords, giving you this mental clarity, this insight, and helping you understand that actually, you know, there's a reason and a season, and you might well have had a difficult time, but this is a brand new beginning for you. It's all about getting the balance right in your emotion to accept and receive that. And then we have the Star card, which kind of puts the capstone on all of that, because the Star is about your healing. It's about the universal promise that all will be well, that, you know, the work has been covered and your balance or your alchemy has been achieved. And then there's this wish, this connection to the universe, your dream and manifestation, that is a promise that is well connected into the fabric of the universe, and it will come into fruition. You just have to have that faith. And there's a lot of healing in this card. There's a lot of rebalancing in this card too. So whatever you've been through or been going through, Aquarius, through June, it seems as though you're going to be able to shift past this cycle. I'm going to pull you some clarity cards now. Okay, Aquarius, what we have here is a very strong and positive reading. I'm so pleased to see these cards for you. The Hanged Man over the Nine of Cups. Your wish certainly has been put on hold. Clearly, you've been through a lot. This period of kind of non-movement, this pause that the universe has had you on, has had an effect that might have affected your faith, your belief, but it's also had the effect that it's allowed you to consider quite deeply and see things from different perspectives and understand the workings, not just outside of yourself, but within. But the Hanged Man to me is the universe kind of moving all of the cogs into place in order for things to come to fruition with a really solid foundation for you. And then we have the Nine of Wands over the Seven of Wands. This is kind of interesting in that it shows all of the experiences you've been through. It shows that you've kind of earned your stripes, shall we say. But there is a danger when we go through certain things that we carry a lot of the pain with us. We become cynical or defensive. And the Nine of Wands is kind of a little warning to say, look, you know, use your experiences to spring from, as opposed to, you know, creating a barrier to your blessings. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and wisdom now, and what is for you will come through here with the Seven of Wands, and to allow that to happen and not to push back on it. And then King of Wands, the Wands are all about growth. And the King of Wands, it's funny because when I was shuffling for the clarity for this particular Two of Wands, I had the Queen of Wands trying to poke her face out a little bit, and then I had the King of Wands. So this is very powerful energy in this Two of Wands, this brand new start, this kind of going on a journey of growth and self-discovery. The King of Wands has a great deal of passion and ability, and he's able to manifest very strongly. I actually also note in this card we have the salamander down at his at the bottom of his throne, at his feet there, and the salamander to me reminds me of the kind of quick mind, quick thinking, ability to be flexible. And herein lies you know, a very good message. Wands are very flexible. They're made of wood, but there's a lot of flex in that wood in order for new shoots to grow. And so I kind of feel as though, you know, you're becoming a lot more open to possibilities here, Aquarius. We also have Judgment over the Ten of Swords, which is great to see actually, because it tells me that this cycle is most definitely over, the negative cycle, and you've made a decision, or you're going to come to a decision through June that will allow you to move on and close out that negative cycle. And then the Empress over the Page of Swords is really great energy. The Empress is Taurus Libra energy. We have the Venus sign down here, and in this case I'm going to take it as Libra energy. It's very creative, very nurturing, very harmonizing, The Empress kind of is the muse for the universe. She brings through ideas, she brings through encouragement, she nourishes the many. And then we have this communication coming in here. So something's coming in, or maybe somebody is coming in to give you this spark of creativity here. The Moon over the Temperance card. Now, what was I saying about getting the balance right between emotion and practicality? There is something to delve into here, Aquarius, and it could well be deep-rooted emotion. It could well be threads of past experiences that need to be sought out and sorted out. What it's asking you to do is to dive deep within those emotions and find those things that are perhaps creating imbalance or keeping you stuck, and allow those things to come to the light of day. The light from the Moon is a very surreal light, and it highlights things that perhaps are not noticed in the light of the sun. And so it's asking you to look deeply and challenge, those dark aspects of ourselves, and see if they're still valid and still nourishing to us, and let them go. So Temperance is getting a balance from what has been in the past and what is coming in your future, your nourishment and your light side and your dark side, in order to move forward. And now the Ace of Swords wants to move us forward. It wants to give us this clarity and this insight so that we could step forward into our future. But it takes a lot of strength, and it takes the mind of a tactician, if you like. The Strength card is literally, the story is that the young lady uses the strength of will as opposed to brute strength. And it talks about our higher selves as opposed to our lower beast nature. Being able to rise above the humdrum, the reactionary kind of base, kind of triggered reaction, and bring ourselves to a higher understanding of what the roots of those emotions are, why those triggers are there. And so the clarity will perhaps help you move through the negative cycle and to move forward in a much more discerning and kind of tactical way. And then finally we have the Ace of Pentacles over the Star card, which is great to see, because the Ace of Pentacles is a brand new financial start, a seed from the universe, an opportunity to start again and recreate your foundation. This is looking like a really interesting read, Aquarius, given that I see potential here for something that you need to express personally, something that you have innate within you, a project, an idea that will benefit many, if you like. There are other people involved here, I feel. But let's draw a couple of advice cards and see what we have for June. Okay, so we have projections and we have conditioning. This is very interesting as it deals with things on an emotional level and also on a mental level. And they seem very appropriate for your reading today, Aquarius. Projections are about how we kind of literally project our wishes and what we want to see onto others. And it also talks about the show reel that we give as opposed to our true face. Now, I'm not sure which one applies here, but I'm kind of leaning towards seeing things as we want to see them as opposed to what they actually are. And it's kind of like when you meet somebody new and you see all the best parts of them, and then after a certain amount of months or years you start to see the person for who they truly are in their full depth. It's kind of like that. We place an acetate of desire over a situation and we don't see the reality. So there's like a warning here to be quite discerning. This card kind of is similar to the Seven of Cups in the traditional tarot, in that it's asking you to really go to the root of what those things are. I think if you're you're coming out of a cycle of being hurt or through some rough times, not to rush ahead and not to kind of forget the lessons, if you like, but to take your time to assess where those thoughts are coming from and if they are based in reality with regards to anything you're going to do going forward. There is also an aspect with this conditioning card in that we can sometimes try to fit in too much or try to accept too much of what is. Now, Aquarians are not really known for their fitting in or kind of accepting situations. So what we have here, if you are or you have been in situations where you've had to compromise yourself too much, this is your time for roaring your truth, quite literally, that the time for wearing, the clothing or the coat of a sheep is over, that you are actually a lion and you're you're out here to roar your own truth and to release everything that you've grown with. Sometimes we kind of get stuck with tradition and culture and things that belong to previous generations that don't belong to us, don't serve us, and actually limit our growth and potential. So we're looking here at your perception and also the conditioning or the responsibilities and other people's expectations, to be aware of those as you move forward. I'm going to draw you one outcome card now, Aquarius. Okay, these two cards came out or tried to come out during the first layer of your reading, and they just flipped out now, so I'm going to take them because the energy wants to come to you. We have the Page of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Swords, so you have two outcome cards. So what we have here is the Knight of Swords that comes in with the brutal truth, with the absolute clarity, and you've already had the Ace and you've already had the Page of Swords as well. So this is a blast, Aquarius. Something is shifting here and there's no choice about it. You're going to get a clear canvas. And what we have also is this fast pace. Now you've had your advice cards, you've got the clarity, as much as you can run with it, take the lessons from the past and use it wisely. We also have the Page of Pentacles, another messenger, bringing in opportunity, bringing in a seed for growth. It can be your foundation and resources, your career, your work, your projects, or it can be on a spiritual level. And I have a feeling here in your reading it's a bit of a combination, because the Page of Pentacles kind of brings us the opportunity to set down a foundation. It brings us a message of sometimes it can be apprenticeship, sometimes it can be an opportunity to go and learn something new, some extra training. And I have a feeling that this information with the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, that June is going to be a very interesting month for you, Aquarius. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think of that reading, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.